I went to Serbia in October and gosh, it was so beautiful. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why you should go to Serbia too. So in terms of my trip to Serbia, I went in October when the sun is gloriously shining, and I went to major cities like Subotica, Novi Sad, Belgrade. I also went to a few monasteries in Fruska Gora and also this town called Sremski Karlovci, and which was definitely worth it. All in all, I enjoyed it so much. And these are the reasons why. First up, the people. I believe Serbians are the reason why I would go back to Serbia again, because they're so nice, so helpful, so kind to you. They're really friendly towards foreigners. I'll be asking for directions in a train station or at a bus stop, and someone will be more than happy to give me directions to guide me towards the right direction. I don't speak Serbian and I don't speak any other languages from countries around Serbia that share very significant lexical similarity. So I only spoke English throughout my trip, and I gotta say, Serbians have a really good command of English, and wherever you go, there's definitely someone who could help you out with English. Most of the Serbians that I met spoke really good English. Even a 60-70-year-old bus driver, I was a bit lost because I went to Fruska Gora, and then I was asking him, okay, do you stop here or here? And then he was like, yeah, of course we do, and then started having small talks with me in English, and I was really shocked, and then asking me about why am I doing here in Serbia, what am I having for dinner, and I'm like, okay, this is amazing because I have never felt this kind of friendliness in Berlin. Okay, I shouldn't talk about Berlin. Also, what I've noticed during my trip in Serbia, and the Serbians that I've met, they are quite direct, but at the same time, you know that they are willing to help, wanting to help, and are friendly, and I think they don't have that superficial kindness that I talked about previously in Australia, Japan, Thailand, the UK. But I don't mind that because at the same time, from the tone, you know that they genuinely want to help you. They want you to have a good experience in their country. And I appreciate that. And the second biggest reason why I want to go back to Serbia again is because Serbia is a paradise for foodies. If you know me already, I'm a big fan of food. I mean, cevapi is probably the only thing that you know before going to Serbia, but trust me, after your trip in Serbia, you know so much more about Serbian food and you get you hooked. Not to discount the fact that the cevapi that we had in Serbia is absolutely mind-blowing. It is so good, so juicy. It's almost like someone injected some juice into the cevapi before serving it to you, because it is wonderfully grilled, it's crispy on the outside, and when you bite into it, it's just like of flavors and juice in your mouth. It's so good. And even if you don't know what else to order apart from cevapi because that's the only thing that you know, just ask a really friendly waiter or just look at the menu. It's normally in English anyways because the country is so good in English. And sometimes I just look over at the other table what they're having, and that's how I learned about ushtipci with kaimak, which is, oh my god, it is really good. And I also don't agree with people saying that Serbian cuisine is really heavy on meat. I think that's true only in certain circumstances. For example, when you go to barbecue restaurants where they are good at barbecuing, then they would only offer sausages, meats, lamb, and stuff like that. You get what I mean. But at the same time, if you just go to a normal grandma restaurant, stew restaurants, or just a normal, typical, traditional Serbian restaurants, there's so many vegetarian dishes. I'm in love and obsessed with Serbian food. I can show you many, many Serbian dishes that I've had throughout my trip. I just miss it so much. My mouth is literally watering going through these footages. And there are also many fish restaurants that serve fish well. They're mainly from the river, but sometimes you do get fish from the sea as well. Also, we splurge a little bit when we're in Serbia because it doesn't cost too much to splurge. For the quality of the food and the wine that you get, it is absolutely astounding. The wine list that they curated, wines from Serbia, from Croatia, I am so ignorant because I didn't know that these countries produce such fine wines. I'm definitely gonna get me a few bottles. Like I said, it's not too expensive, it's relatively affordable. For example, the crispiest burek that we have for breakfast every day, it's so fatty but so good, was I don't know, €4, and that could feed us 2 people twice because it was such a big portion. My favorite beer so far in Serbia is Zajakačko. I'm not sure where it is from Serbia, but it tastes absolutely divine. And in terms of the prices, like I said, the burek was €2 to €4, and if you want to have a sit-down breakfast in a restaurant, it's probably 10 to €15 with coffee, with tea, with other things included, with tips as well. Coffee is €2, €3 depending on what you order, but when I can get a coffee for €2, I'm I need to have 3 per day. I discovered this little Guljen, this amazing coffee shop in Skadolia in Belgrade, and they serve amazing coffee, wonderfully done. They tell you where the beans are from, and the people there are just having a good vibe, really. They are mostly Serbians. There's a dog for you to pat over there. What a wonderful day. I think because the coffee culture in Serbia is so strong, especially in Belgrade, the competition is really high, and then the coffee shop really wants to improve themselves, and the people have higher expectation, and hence that's why I think the coffee is really good in Serbia. Beer is like 2-4 euros depending on the place. We splurged in one of the best restaurants in Novi Sad, and it cost 85 euros for two with wine included. And we also went to a really nice restaurant in Belgrade as well. I think it cost less than 100 euros for two with a bottle of wine, I think, plus some digestive and something else. Why wouldn't you spend your money in this country and eat well? The third reason why I love Serbia, the beautiful architecture. The cities and the towns that I've been to are absolutely gorgeous. Belgrade is like an eclectic mix of modern and old and everything in between. It's got this amazing energy. You can see like, wow, wonderful Baroque building and like Art Nouveau building, and at the same time like communist building. It's just so full of charm, and I don't think you can see something like Belgrade somewhere else because it's so one of a kind. For example, Novi Sad, which is a beautiful town that's maybe 100 kilometers, I think less than 100 kilometers north of Belgrade. The whole city is so photogenic. No matter where you look, it's like an Instagrammable shot here, Instagrammable shot there. I think if you have time, you should see both cities. And then we had time to go up to Subotica, which is a city that's bordering Hungary. I went there just to see the Art Nouveau architecture, and I have to say that did not disappoint to make a 3-hour bus trip up there. The square, the town hall, the palace, everything, absolutely everything is gorgeous. There's so many more videos that I can't show you, so you gotta see it for yourself. And lastly, which is also one of the most important factors when I visit a country, is safety. And I gotta say, Serbia feels incredibly safe. I would be able to walk alone at any hour of the day without thinking about my own safety, without thinking whether I'm in the right neighborhood. That peace of mind when you're traveling is priceless. And I wouldn't feel unsafe if my phone is out of battery and I've got to ask someone for directions or anything like that. I wouldn't feel unsafe. I would feel absolutely comfortable that there's someone that I ask for help will take me to the right place or guide me to the right place. I mean, there's definitely bad people everywhere in the world, but I just think that in Serbia, maybe the places that I've been to, I just don't see them, or I haven't experienced that. The disclaimer is that I only had a very short period of time, which is like slightly more than a week in Serbia. Maybe I haven't had any bad experience, but from what I've experienced in all these cities, all these towns, and the train rides, the bus stations, everything, I felt absolutely safe. Plus, I didn't experience any direct or outward racism towards me. Sometimes in Berlin or in other cities that I visited, people will be saying ni hao, konnichiwa to me, which I don't mind because I always give them the benefit of the doubt. People might also do like funny gestures and like laugh at me and things like that, and that's not fine. I think that in Serbia, that did not happen even once in my whole journey in Serbia, and I think that is priceless. Like the open-mindedness of people, how accepting they are of foreigners, of people of different colors, and to the country, visiting the country, providing value to the country, and like spending in the country. They are absolutely respectful. They just go on with their daily routine. They don't mind you. They might look at you, but they won't stare at you to make you feel uncomfortable. Unfortunately, I recently experienced a direct racism in Albania, which I will talk more about it in the next video. I will talk about it in my next video. It's just this stark contrast that I see very quickly. Yes, it does not mean all the Albanians are like this, and I have to say Albanians are really nice. It's just this one person, which I will talk about more in the next video, maybe. I don't want to make you think that Albania is bad, but it's just my own experience. In terms of safety, I see no reason why you'll be worried about your safety in Serbia because it's so safe, and I experienced no racism, which is priceless. I think that's so much better than having like to worry about yourself, your safety, where you are, and things like that. My final thoughts. I love Serbia, and I will definitely be going back to Serbia soon. If you're from Serbia or if you've been to Serbia before, please comment down below to tell me where I should go to next time when I'm in Serbia. If you like me talking about my experience in other country or living in other country, visiting other country, please click the subscribe button. Stay tuned for my next video. Ciao, ciao!